here today with David Rowe, professor of law at the University of Miami School of Law in Coral Gables, Florida. Good evening, Professor Rowe.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Professor Rowe, what are the major issues facing Jamaica in the upcoming election?
Well, I think that the main issue is the economy of Jamaica, its current performance, and whether or not the majority of Jamaicans are going to be able to increase their participation in the economy. In Jamaica, we have a situation where a few people have a large amount of wealth and a large amount of people are marginalized. So one of the big issues will be, can the winner of the election make most Jamaicans participants in the economy?
It seems that crime is also an issue. How much is the crime issue intertwined with the issue of the economy?
What I was about to say, crime is a very serious problem and has its root in the economic crisis that Jamaica is in perpetually, or has perpetually been in since independence. Crime has become organized crime rather than just incidental crime. And the organized crime tends to be focused or affiliated with the Shower Posse and Western Kingston related criminal violence. This has led to the death of many Jamaicans, and just in the same way that Jamaicans wish to operate in their economy as if they are equal stakeholders, they also wish protection from the individuals from organized crime who are preying on the society.
What can be done in that regard, and how much have the political parties said about that ahead of the election?
Well, clearly, the garrisons have to be dismantled. But can the garrisons be dismantled without tough political decisions being made? The political parties must, at this time, decide to jettison the organized criminal element. And the significant party, how shall we call them, supporters, who some are even members of parliament themselves, need to remove themselves from politics if they know they're a source of violence. And there are many politicians, particularly on the government side, who are violent and have engaged in violence to support and to protect their political bases. If violence continues to be used in this manner, we will have prolonged crisis in Jamaica.
So last question, Professor. Obviously the election date has not been set yet. This week the governor of the Bank of Jamaica, Brian Winter, said that was a potential risk to the economy, the uncertainty of not knowing when the election will be set. Can you talk about that?
Under the Westminster model, the Prime Minister and only the Prime Minister has the right to select the date. But I must agree with the governor of the Bank of Jamaica on the point that the uncertainty that is associated with election talk, with an election date, cannot be good for Jamaica. It leads to the suppression of economic activity and leads to an environment which is tense, violent, and quite possibly inflammable. So it is important, I think, for the government to publish or establish the election date so that we can all make our plans for the future.
Professor, thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.